Hey guys, how you going? This is BillyEatWorld, and today we're going to take a look at probably the best semi-auto sniper rifle in BF Hardline, the SOCOM 16. I took a look at this gun back when the Hardline beta came out, and even though it hasn't really changed a lot since then, I thought I'd give it another in-depth look because it's still one of my favourite weapons. The SOCOM 16 is basically Hardline's variant of the M14 and the M39 EMR, except that it's now considered a semi-auto sniper rifle and it can attach a range of higher powered optics. It's also a lot more effective in close quarters too, and while I wouldn't say it's quite as deadly as the M39 was in BF3, it's definitely a much better all-round weapon than any of the DMRs in BF4. So, what makes the SOCOM 16 one of the best weapons in the game? Well, it fires at 360 RPM and deals 43 damage out to 50 meters, which drops off to 34 damage at 120 meters. This doesn't seem much more powerful than the battle rifles, but when you take into consideration the longer damage drop-off, you can see it maintains its 3-bullet kill out to a lot longer ranges. The SOCOM 16 is also a lot more accurate than your average battle rifle, with a standing ADS of 0.05 and a moving ADS of 1. It is less accurate when fired from the hip though, with a spread of 3, but this isn't something that you're likely to be doing with a semi-auto sniper rifle anyway. The rest of the SOCOM 16 stats are pretty average across the board, and it's actually almost identical to the SR25 in pretty much every respect. It does have a slightly faster tactical reload time of 2.4 seconds though, as well as a slightly slower empty reload of 3.4 seconds. It's also got a standard 21 round capacity, a decent muzzle velocity of 550 meters per second, and a very comfortable recoil pattern compared to the SR25, which tends to pull up and to the right. Probably its only real weakness though is its 0.6 spread increase per shot, which doesn't really make a big difference because you're not likely to be spamming at mid to long range. Now, when I say that this is the best semi-auto in the category, I should point out that the differences between these weapons are only subtle to begin with, so most of the other semi-autos should perform almost as well. It's not so much that the SOCOM 16 has better stats than the other guns, it's just that it doesn't have as many noticeable weaknesses like the PTR's accuracy, the Sager's muzzle velocity, or the SR25's recoil. The average player probably isn't going to notice the difference, but on stats alone the SOCOM 16 does scrape out just ahead of the other semi-autos. I'd even go as far as to say it scrapes out ahead of most of the bolt actions too, because there are a lot more close range maps in Hardline, and semi-autos tend to be more effective at those ranges. It is important to remember though that despite the fact it's a lot more capable in close quarters now, you still will have a disadvantage against pretty much any automatic weapon. The battle rifles and even the ARs have the ability to reach out a lot further, so unless you're on a long range map you probably will want to run with one of those instead. Like with any slow firing weapon, you'll want to take it slow with the SOCOM 16 and keep your sights up around corners whenever you can. Also, if you can, you'll want to try and aim for the head, because this will cut down your time to kill by a third in close quarters, and this should give you the upper hand in pretty much every gunfight. Now, as for attachments, well, like I've recommended on a few guns lately, I'd probably run with the EOTech Hollow Sight, the Laser Sight, Heavy Barrel, and the Vert Grip. The reason for this is because the Heavy Barrel will ease up on the vertical recoil slightly, and the Vert Grip should counteract the penalty it adds to moving ADS. Another effective setup would be the angled grip and the flash hider, which would probably make a more drastic difference to vertical recoil if this is something that you're having trouble with. Also, you could maybe justify using up to a 4x optic, but personally, I think a 1x sight is fine because this won't handicap you in close range gunfights where you're likely to fight most of your battles. All in all though, this gun is pretty adaptable in the sense that you can add pretty much any attachments you like, and it should still run pretty well. That's not to say it's a great all-round gun though, because you'll definitely have to pick and choose your gunfights if you want to stay alive. If you weren't a fan of semi-autos in previous games though, you might want to give them a try because there's actually a reason to use these guns now. You will need to change your playstyle a bit, but just give it some time and you'll realise the SOCOM 16 is a really fun weapon to use, and it's easily one of the best weapons in the game. But anyway guys, let me know what you think about the SOCOM 16 in the comments section below, and as always, if you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Also, check out the links in the description below if you want to see more of my videos, or if you'd like to support my channel on Patreon, and until next time, see you later and have a good one.